Okay, good morning. Hi, I'm Natalie. If you don't know me, um, oh, managed to get out for a walk today at Echo Beach, which is north of Canggu in Bali. This is the lovely Echo Beach, far away in time. Yeah, this is like the surfing beach. It looks all a bit crap and eroded actually, even more so than last time I was here. Hey Woofy. Yeah, so let's see if I actually post this live or not. Or what do you call it? It can't be live. The internet's not good enough here to actually post live. Not on my phone anyway. Seems to always be having dramas. Yeah, so I live in the lovely Bali with my daughter, Freya. We are... Oh, look at Poppy. I guess you would say like disability refugees. I've just kind of given up on the whole system in Australia and trying to get support for my daughter. Actually I could live there. I had like $100,000 funding package last year, but I just had some pretty full-on experience with the child safety, getting involved when hello Wolfie. Hello, how are you? Hi. When I had this amazing carer come and help me with my daughter, who was like volunteered, just someone I actually met on the beach. And he spent time with us and was like big brother to Freya, and Freya's my daughter. And he agreed to stay in Australia with her. He was meant to get paid and everything. I wanted to come back here to continue my project because basically, I want to live in supported community with my daughter. I want to be somewhere where, there's carers and people to do, I've looked after my daughter for 15 years and, 16 now. And it's too much for me now. It's just too much to, have to step her through every part of her day, every step of everything that she does. And I feel like, it's my turn now to be able to contribute, economically in some way, build like a livelihood so that so I can live somewhere with my daughter, that she can still be in my life, that she can have awesome friends, and I want live in community with her and feel supported. What is that? And I said to the people that, sit on their funding seats, like what I was doing and what I wanted, like I want Freya, I want to find other families interested to like co-invest. So Freya and some other kids can have a house that they share. There's a carer bedroom. Like I live close by. I'd basically. Oh my God, am I going to cross this? They know my situation. Like I was basically on the verge of having a nervous breakdown living back in Australia. And just can't, trying to cope with her on my own, and I can't. And so, it was kind of do I relinquish care of her? Like, do I just put her into, not just, but do I put my child into foster care and put her into a state, something where, and then just be able to come and see her on weekends, or like when I'm able to, and I was encouraged by a lot of people close to me to do that, because they can see what I go through on a daily basis. They know what Freya's like, they know what her needs are, and in all fairness and sanity, that's probably what I should have done. But I did not. Because I got scared by the child. Basically, if you can't cope anymore, if you want to what they say, like, relinquish care, you basically have to go to child safety, basically say, look, I'm a shit parent. No, like, go to child safety and relinquish, and you have to go to court. You have to stand in a courtroom and in front of a judge say, like, why you can't look after your child. It's all this pretty full-on intimidating process. And then plus they said, she could be moved around Queensland every 2 weeks. There's no foster carers that, there's no family or foster home, or there's no institution where she could actually go and live or stay. So, you might not get to see her. And I'm just like going, what the fuck are you telling me? Like, are you serious? And, she's my daughter, and of course, being a female as well, like, they're telling me this, like, I'm like, fuck you guys. And it just totally scared me. Even though, I know someone who's actually works in child safety, and she said, look, they just tell you that to scare you. They don't want, everyone relinquishing their kids into care. And she said they have just opened up like a care home, because it's actually, they only have the where the people with disabilities live in a house. Maybe it's a share house, they have staff come in. It's only for adults post 18, and that's what these funding people were telling me as well. They're going, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, yeah, but this funding, the whole reason behind the NDIS is to help carers join the workforce again, to become economic participants, to like create the future that is that is their vision, or their person with a disabilities vision. And I think maybe me and Freya share the same vision a bit. I mean, I know what she enjoys. I know some of what she can do. Like, she surprises me all the time, because when I do have other people come and work with her, like, she's, learned to dress herself. Wow. And she's a teenager. And they're telling me, oh my God, they're telling me it doesn't exist. And I'm like, of course it doesn't exist. That's why they brought the funding out, is so that people can create it and work together to do that. But they're not doing anything to help families, actual people, get together and create these visions together. That's really only the not-for-profit realm. Like, there was Blue Skies conversation a little while back. That was actually all before the NDIS actually came in. And that was one of the forums and areas where people were actually getting together and talking about, what is their vision. Like, with the NDIS plans, there seems to be all these, everyone's got their own plan, but how does that actually all working together when, like, for me, cooperative care, cooperative custodianship, like, and that whole aspect that there's so much in our culture that now we pay for, whereas before, you know, that was free. Like, I mean, does your mother charge you to raise you? Did she charge you to give birth to you? Like, and the actual economic value of the, you know, you look at yin and yang, like, of the yin things that we do, you can't actually, you know, if you were actually to put an economic value on them, like, it just wouldn't even be worth going to work. Like, I mean, look now at childcare, like, most people, I don't know how much it is, but, you know, half your salary just goes on childcare. Like, all these things that people used to do naturally, that's, you know, still naturally in the Asian culture, like, you know, it hasn't been totally monetized and, you know, commercialized the crap out of. Like, that's all stuff we can, for me, my vision, we do that together. And it's beautiful here in Bali because in the local banja, which is like the local council or village, like they have banjas, villages, I forget which one comes first, and the bigger area, you know, they have these, you know, it's all locally run, it's all family based, it's all, you know, essentially tribe, because the culture here has never actually been displaced from its own land, and so they still hold these basically local districts. And so yeah, people in those villages, banjas, like, you have to go and do your community service, you have to go and do the work, you know, at the temple or whatever it is. Everyone has assigned tasks and jobs and things they have to do as a community service, and you see how it works here. I mean, people hardly have any money, you know, like, but I mean, the Balinese, they are quite rich actually. They're smart, but yeah, it's just this cooperative culture where, you know, you don't see people begging here in Bali, like, and people are, yeah, everyone just works together. There's a real sense of cooperation. That's all I can say. So yeah, these, you know, these ideas and visions that I've been having, like, God, if everyone just did 3 or 4 hours a day, what they really love doing, you know, like, imagine what we could do. Like, if there was someone doing gardening, if there was someone in the kitchen preparing the main meal of the day, if there was someone doing massages 3 or 4 hours a day, if there was someone working with kids in the school, like childcare, like, and what's the 5th one? I sort of had these 5 things going on: school, like childcare, natural therapy, natural building, of course. You know, if there was, some people were doing their, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours a day towards building houses, natural building. Like, we could have a free massage every week. We could, you know, free, like, everyone's contributing. So, but, you know, it becomes part of a community currency. Like, so everyone would maybe have a massage every week. You know, buildings would be getting built. There'd be gardens. There would be a main meal cooked every day. Like, your kids could spend time in a school. You wouldn't be able to just, like, do your own thing for a few hours. Like, and to me, it's not rocket science. And I just sort of had the revelation the other day. I'm like, oh, all this crap that I'm going on about, it's like, these guys are already doing it. And it's like, oh, well, I just landed here, you know, I just learn from these guys. So language is a bit of a barrier, but yeah, so obviously it's possible, guys. We can do it. It's been done. It's being done right now. That's the example I want to follow. So I'll get into the whole vision side of it maybe in the next video, but so I've got people in Australia saying to me, it doesn't exist, no. I'm like, yeah, but this is what the funding's for. You know, we can all actually get together and work on this as a collective, and that's what needs to happen. But I don't see that the system is ever actually going to get behind that, and the bureaucracy just, it's not in their realm, it's not their function, it's not their way of thinking. It's up to us as parents, and who, you know, care about our kids, who care about their future, who care about who's going to manage their future, especially when we're dead. It's up to us to create this. So funding or no funding, you know, like I thought I would have been supported. Like I had everything in place for our friend to stay with Freya. He stayed there with her. I came back here for a month to work on the workshop side, because basically that's building the local business here that, you know, basically specializes in building bamboo houses. I love bamboo. I find it just meditative, you know, just being able to work with bamboo. And I love design. That's my, you know, my passion is not really architecture, you know, design, natural building, sustainable systems, ecologically friendly living, earth friendly. So, you know, and that's what I'd like to do in my, as my, you know, my passion, my career, what I want to move into. And so I came back here and helping set up this local business with some local craftsmen to turn that into something where people can come for workshops, they can come and learn about working with bamboo. They can help build the buildings in our village. So, you know, people get to come, stay somewhere, be in like a homestay, you know, so you get to experience the local culture, you know, stay with local families, and then you're also contributing to helping build this village for kids with special needs. And learning something you can take home and build your own bamboo house later with. So, and so that's basically what I came back here to do for a month in May. And basically shit fell apart back in Australia. Like, they didn't pay him. Like, you know, I left and they said, yep, everything's fine, he's going to get paid, he's going to get 1 night of respite a week. Like, basically it was all the shit fucking fuck up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be another. I think I might have written something about it, or maybe it's on my website and a blog. But anyway, moving on. So I basically just had to leave Australia, just go, look, you know, it took me a month, nearly 2 months of my time. I tried to rework it all out again. You know, I had another group of friends who were like, yeah, we'll help you. She can stay, you know, there overnight. Had everything organised, you know, like being, you know, them being the eyes and ears just through the night, because I had all the funding for the carers to come in the morning. I hadn't used any of the funding like earlier in the year because I just battled it here in Bali. Like, I did have a carer here, but, you know, everything was still very new and strange, and it was interesting. And so, and then it's still, you know, it all just fucked up again. Like, oh no, she can't be somewhere where there's Airbnb guests. I'm like, huh? You know, oh, there can't be anywhere where there's like going to be like volunteers or people that are strangers, unless they're pre-approved, which takes, if you're a volunteer, like 3 months for, what is that, blue card place to actually approve someone that, you know, they're not a pedophile. And I just went, are you kidding me? Like, and how my daughter's learned and how I've survived in the past has been, you know, like having, yeah, some Airbnb guests, but mainly like helpex, like volunteers come and stay with us. They do like 3 or 4 hours work with Freya every day. Gives me a chance to work in my business, gives me a break, like gives her friendships and an opportunity to, you know, form, you know, relationships with people, you know, build her, you know, not build, what do you call it, you know, have her own little personality, have her own little friends, have her own little social thing, because in the school, like, she really wasn't getting that anymore. She was only getting like, half an hour a week in the classroom with the mainstream kids, and, you know, it's like, what kind of life is that for her? And I guess kids her own age, you know, going through teenage stuff, like, yeah, they lose interest in her when they were younger. Like, it was great for her. But now, you know, like, people that come in, like travelers and stuff, like people who play music, like, yeah, she gets to have her own experiences, have her own friendships with those people. And yeah, the people that we've had stay with us have just been really lovely and amazing. And like I said, you know, I had a French couple stay with me for 5 months, and the guy worked in disabilities in France, and he actually taught her to dress herself, which I never thought she would do. Like, of course, with mum, like, of course mum's going to do it, you know. So And yeah, so, and they're telling me this, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what, why don't I just, okay, so I'll just like go and lock ourselves in a fucking, I don't know, like forest shack somewhere and just rot and die, like, you know, with no social interaction and or anything. And I just went, you know what, guys, you can take your funding, you can shove it up your ass. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm getting fuck out of here. And I left, came back here with Freya, had about 2 months of like absolutely no support. I mean, I've got Arif, Supri, that my friends doing the work, well, it's not workshop yet, they're building me a house, so, you know, doing all the house building stuff. And then, yeah, about 2 months ago, I found Amelia, the amazing Amelia, and also the school where she's going now. Like, it's quite hard to find things in Bali, you know, if you don't speak Indonesian, so anyway, it all happened. I got, you know, actually put to at Bali Street Kids. She said, oh, why doesn't Freya come to the Sunrise School? I'm like, Sunrise School? I've been there, but didn't know they had a special ed unit. And yeah, so now basically she goes there every day from 8:30 to 1:30. They have a full-time OT in the classroom. Like, it's just a class for special needs kids, but it's within like a, I guess, it's not really mainstream school, it's actually more like a Steiner school. So it's like the perfect thing I always wanted for Freya, you know, from when she was little. And I remember when we first got back to Cairns and we went to the Steiner School open day and basically got told to fuck off. Well, no, like, we were watching the kids' performance and they asked us to leave because Freya was making like, or, no, she was clapping at the wrong time and maybe making a little bit of noise as she does, so, and we got asked to leave, so that was, you know, the end of my Steiner dream for her at that time. So yeah, it's like amazing to realise here, like, wow, she's actually got that beautiful kind of school, you know, it's a beautiful bamboo building with, you know, it's a very, it's not an unstructured program, it has structure, but they look at all the kids' needs and they design a program that suits all their needs. And yeah, the kids all sit together. It's not like trying to make kids like mainstream kids. They can kind of do their own thing a bit, and they have varying needs in their classroom, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And it's so nice to see her start to make friends again and integrate again, because yeah, when we were after living in Philippines and when we came back here October last year, yeah, I was quite hard to find schools and everything. I mean, we went around and visited places, like for a day here, a day there, like there's some great places, you know, but in terms of having some stable friends, some people, other kids that she can spend time with and yeah, become more like routine. And she's starting to join in more, participate. Before she was very like, just wanted to do her own thing, like didn't care about anyone else. So yeah, we're at that stage now where I've had the house for 1 year. The lease is just coming up for renewal. This bamboo house in Seminyak is nearly finished, so that's sort of like the example demonstration house for the kind of house I want to build in my village, my cooperative village, like community place. And basically, I'm dedicating my time to making this vision of a village and cooperative living a reality. So, I have Amelia, who I'm training through the Sunrise School, the OT, and I have a speechy working with her as well to, you know, basically learn to work with Freya and hopefully that she'll become one of her long-term carers living here. So, and then in terms of cooperative, so for Freya's future, and what I envisage is for there to be a community or a village with some other families with children or adults with special needs, like she's 16 now, so by the time she's an adult, I want there to be like a program that she's part of every day. Like, it's probably going to involve community farming, you know, whether it's there picking flowers, drying flowers, like, you know, crushing stuff up, like bashing things and whatever, making bath salts, like, you know, pouring things into little bags, like, you know, making a little product like that. That could be part of what she does. Like, I don't want to see her in Australia going to an Endeavour house, don't say that, going to some institution where, you know, it's like a 9-to-5 job, and they have like, what do they call them, like KPIs that they have to do, like, and putting together headsets for Jetstar. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is not life. That is not fun. Like, and why? What's the point? Like, is there any point to that? Like, and she would maybe earn $2 an hour, but I'd say she'd just be ripping apart all the ones that everyone else has put back together. So maybe we would actually have to pay money for her to work there. So community farming is one thing, like one activity. Like, if you look on my website in the I don't know what section yet, because I've just got to go through and kind of reshuffle things, but yeah, just sort of relay things out. But anyway, look at the vision, look at the community, what do I say, the management side, like how I see management happening. So there's farming, there's activities like, you know, helping clean up after the main meals. I imagine, like, as parents, we would take turns, you know, like maybe one day, one family supervise. I mean, I envisage that we'll have paid staff and carers, and also I'd love to have volunteers and people that come and help X and share their skills. HelpX is basically like, instead of, well, to me, instead of go working in a city or, you know, having a city job, paying for an apartment, rent, basically it's people can come, exchange accommodation and food, and I do usually pay a small salary. We just got to be so careful in Indonesia with money and jobs and all that sort of stuff, because they want jobs to go to local people. So, I mean, I envisage like anything that gets paid would actually be in community currency, or it would be paid before or after they actually arrive in Indonesia, because there's just too many sagas and, you know, things going on with visas and all that sort of stuff here. The government is really, really strict when it comes to that sort of thing. So, you know, I definitely want to stay, you know, within the, what is it, means of operation, you know, for being able to live here and stay here and operate here. So, so as a parent, like, I'd be more than happy to, like, one day a week, or there's a little diagram table thing box where I sort of suggest, like, oh, you know, it could be like this, maybe one family they want to supervise for a whole day, maybe another family they can just do the mornings, like an activity in the mornings. Have a look. Anyway, so, and I mean, when you actually put that into a I'm just going to say NDIS model, like with Australia, like, if you had to pay all those parents, like, supervising, like, it would just blow out the budget, you know, like in the, I won't say the name, house workshops, you know, they're so constrained by their budget. They only have one person supervising a whole room of kids sitting in a fucking sweatshop, basically, with no air conditioning, with, like, this one supervisor who's stuck in the office doing all red tape stuff, while out in the workshop, like, there's sexual harassment and bullying going on, and, you know, I know, I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but, yeah, it's like, it's stupid, like, and I could just never leave my daughter in a place like that, so I don't have to, because I'm creating this. And so, as parents, I'm saying, like, it's great to have paid staff. The people that I mean, I think naturally Balinese, or the people I know here, that they just have this caring, nurturing way about them. I'm not going to go into any more stories about disability in Australia. I'm pretty sure they're in my YouTube channel. So I think for me, I want to be part of my daughter's life. I want to be able to work with other families who also want to be in their kids' life, who want to live in community, who want their children to have like rich experiences, and yeah, there's, you know, the community farming, the, you know, tidying up around the after breakfast, whatever it is. Like, I want her to be part of that kind of natural. That the school in Sarihati, she calls it just natural learning. You know, it's like doing what you would have to do anyway, day to day, or what she would be doing anyway, but also sort of disguising therapy activities in that. You know, there would be one time like just swinging in a hammock, like we can do like stuffing bottle bricks, which is actually a hand-eye coordination and also strength, like, because you get basically you're putting all bits of plastic rubbish and crap inside a 1.5 litre plastic bottle, and then you're getting a stick and you're like compressing it down into the bottle. So I mean, that's actually quite a good OT activity for Freya to be doing. And for me, if she's with a group of friends, and for her, like with people around, she's so much calmer. Like when it's just me and her at home, I notice it straight away. Like she's got no other stimulation, you know, and I'm quite a inward person. Like I'm not really a blah 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 kind of, sometimes I don't know, sort of person. So, and her nervous system is understimulated, so she's always sensory seeking. I call it sensory seeking. So she needs, you know, stimulation, whether it's light, sound. I think it's actually a people thing, you know, like when there's no people around, she's a bit bored. She's bored. Like, I mean, she can easily sit there on the iPad and be self-soothing, or, you know, she's very self-contained in that way, but, you know, it's not really good for her to sit on the iPad for hours and hours, and I don't like her doing that. I'd rather she be interacting, doing stuff with other kids. And if I take the iPad away from her, you know, there's only so much I can sort of do with her. You know, oh, we'll make goop, oh, we'll do this. Like, we have some different activities, but I don't know if I'm just lazy, but, you know, after about half an hour, like, I need to go and have a rest. You know, I need to go, and plus I have this vision that I want to bring into reality, and yeah, and, you know, I need my time to develop my career, my education, like my friendships, which I haven't really been able to do for the last 15, 16 years. So, yeah. Where I was going with that, actually, going to drink a coconut. My brain is starting to run out of glucose. So, right now, I'm sitting in Bali. I've come out for my walk. I'm a little bit stressed about the whole money thing. Like, I mean, I have a bank balance, you know, I have a payout from child support, which I want to invest into, like, into this place, into this initial place, which is going to be this village with cooperative care, with other families that want to come and spend time with their person with a disability, be part of for them to be part of an activity program where they're stimulated, where they're, you know, have friends, they have quality experience. And also for carers, that it gives the carers time to have a break, you know, to go get a massage, to join in a bamboo workshop, do whatever, you know, go up to, like, tomorrow, I'm praying, going up to Kintamani just to go on a silent retreat for a few days. A friend up there has a little wooden house in the mountains, like looking over the rice field. It's just a beautiful healing, but like it just, there's something amazing about that place. You just feel like so content there. And yeah, it's just getting to that stage for me where I'm I'm a little bit fried. Like, just even though I have this support here with Freya, it's been amazing. Like, I've had 2 girls helping with her in the afternoons from Bali Street Kids. So I basically, girls that live in the orphanage. I pay them, they call it baby sister here, so they've been spending time with Freya in the afternoons when she comes back there with the other kids from Bali Street Kids. And that has enabled me to just go hard on building this bamboo house, because it was actually, I think it was only, well, it was 1 or 2, oh no, it was a month. Just, you know, getting everything ready, and then we put up the pillars, and then it started raining. And then it was, Christmas and everything. So the last 2 weeks I haven't done a lot. Cyprian and Arif, of course, still been there, like working away, but I've been missing out, being at home with Freya, and people have been on holiday, and it's been Christmas, So, it's, I have this amazing support, but it's still that thing of like, every day, organise, and it's just that time now where I just need to go somewhere for a few days, totally uninterrupted, just stare at the fucking ceiling, like just do absolutely nothing. And this beautiful family that lives there, they just prepare everything out of the garden. It's all vegan, but usually I have to get it onward at some stage because I can't survive without protein. And yeah, that's the time I'm feeling it is now for me, to be able to go and do that. So I have another lady coming for a few nights to come and stay with Freya overnight. She's another local lady. She's really beautiful. She's a Muslim lady. Her business is in catering, but of course everything's quiet. I would have thought now would be the really busy time, but I think everyone's, I don't know. I forgot. I didn't really ask her the details. But she had some time. I'm fucking grateful. She's going to come and stay in my house. I'm going away for a few nights. I have one slight other thing I have to sort out first. And yeah, just to really soak into, right, this vision. Now I feel like it's time to, to make that a reality. How does that actually going to look in physical form? Like, how do I invite other families to co-contribute to this? Is it anything even anyone else would be interested in? I don't know. But from everyone I've talked to over the last 2 years, like, they're like, yeah, man, you've got to go with that. That's such a great idea. And but yeah, a lot of it's for me looking at. Well, it's not really looking, it's just, opening up to the inspiration, like, okay, so how I see this starting, how I see it, I mean, I would like it to be a full-time living place for me and my daughter. But there's not many people out there that could actually just go, oh, yeah, let's drop everything, let's just, who are these guys? Let's drop everything and, just move to a foreign country and not have any income. No. Like, I mean, that's basically what I've done. I can't work here. I've just, I had a bit of a disaster with my bus. My friend was meant to be paying me some rent for that. He didn't pay me any rent for 5 months, and, that was basically the money I was going to use to pay my whole year's rent on my house here, which is a 4-bedroom house. And anyway, and then still caused me dramas and missed out on a $2,000 Airbnb booking of my bus. But anyway, so, I think the universe is just saying, Natalie, like, let's bring in the abundance. Like, I mean, I don't like the word abundance, like, I do, but I don't. But I mean, I need to open it up now. So, and I need to look at how I can be supported to live here, to create this project, to basically make it available for other families and other people. So, and I feel like it's at the stage now where it's fairly solid, like things are in reality happening, like we're making headway, there's stepping stones. I've got therapists here, I've got support here, I've got the connections here, I've got an amazing like Italian therapist that works with kids with autism with surfing, which is it's going to be in one of my videos. So yeah, I just feel like there's so much potential here, and I'm just needing more local people. I know the place where I want this village to be. Like this demonstration house is in right in Denpasar, like, you know, not far from the airport, maybe 15 minutes. And but you know, I don't really want to live in the city, and where I'm looking at, well, where the village is going to be is in Tabanan, and that's like 40 minutes out of Denpasar. It's a rice field area. It's pristine water, like yeah, and just still building relationships there. So so how I see it starting is as a timeshare. So maybe people are interested in coming like 1 month a year, coming and staying, or 2 weeks, 1 month, whatever it is. For me, like 1 month is like the bare minimum I need as a break away from Babylon. But I just see it like that. 1 month a year, and you know, if you can't come for the whole month, like really it's not that much to us as Westerners, like, and there's so many families here that, you know, have no support, like that, and part of, you know, this first building, my project is in you know, conjunction with Bali Street Kids, so, and that's my thing, is half the year, like it'll be open to local families that want to, that maybe they're from remote areas, come and stay there, access therapy. It'll also be like for their volunteers. I mean, there's only one bedroom, like, you know, upstairs, so I don't know exactly how it's going to look, but the intention is that I give or donate, you know, half the time in that house, or in some way, like its capacity. I mean, I don't, like, and then with everything that in my life here, it's like you don't need to worry so much about figures and numbers. Like, I mean, I just help put to how I can, and she helps me, and it's like I couldn't put a value on that. I mean, how could I put a value on her finding the school for Freya? Like, how could I put a value on her saying, oh, you know, we have a couple of girls here, they don't really go to school. I mean, they go to school 2 hours a day. Like, I'll ask them if they're interested to, you know, work as carers with Freya. Like, and, you know, it's totally, what do you call it? Like, it's not revolutionized, but, you know, it's just like, you know, not thrown. I mean, I just can't, like, I could have never planned that. I can't put a value on it because it's just so unexpected. If I'd actually tried to go out and find that, like, I mean, I did. I put ads on the Bali friendships and that sort of stuff. I have got a lady that's going to come and teach English with the kids in the afternoons. But yeah, it's like, it's just enabled me to, whereas before I was totally, you know, all the time with Freya, like, I always had to, you know, she was always beside me, or she was always close by. I was always having to watch her, and just to be able to free up my time like that, like, yeah, sort of like a revolutionized my life. But it's still not the right word. Yeah, like, I'm going to put together like a thing of how I see it happening. Of course, that's what I'm saying, like, as a timeshare, you've got like a thing like month by month, so you might come here for 1 month, 1 year, and stay in, whether it's the house in Denpasar or whether it's the first house we build in Tabanan, and we also have another house in Tabanan next to there's another orphanage there, so there's a couple of photos on the website of Freya hanging out with the kids there. So yeah, that's how it'll start, like as a timeshare, like people co-invest like once a year. Like, I work on the training people here, I'm working on you know, the building staff, like getting contracts in place and everything. On another note, I'm really not really a land ownership person, and I'm still working that out at the moment. I mean, in an ideal world, like okay, the third part of my project is going to be in Sumba, but it's probably going to be in about 5 or 10 years, like when I finish this one. And then there, like, I want to make something that's totally cooperative, as in in terms of land ownership and that sort of stuff. Everything is totally not back, but I mean totally forward to tribal, where it's not like land ownership and legal agreements and that sort of stuff. It's totally cooperative. It's like, you know, it's like trade in the old days, before merchants and before, what do you call it, you know, all the fucking pirates and conquistadors and all them. You know, people would go and offer something, like the gifting culture, you know. I want to be able to offer, like, you know, we can help build houses. Actually, our trainee from Bali Street Kids, I've got him employed on my project. He's from Sumba, and he's just, man, he's so talented. And Sumba is a place where sorry, no, the time's getting away. Sumba is a place where it's quite, the economy is very low, there's not much money there, people are poor, like there's not really education or skills, but I mean, people are happy there. I've heard it's beautiful, but it's still very tribal. And yeah, I'd like to be able to go and offer something like, hey, we can come and help. I don't know why it's always English is the first thing, but you know, help buildings, help. Basically, my thing is help them making a homestay place so that they can have visitors on their terms. Like I see it, you know, of course, with hospitality and commercialism and what do you call it, tourism. You know, big businesses come in, buy a place, or you know, some people benefit, and most people don't at all. They just get shit jobs working in a fucking cafe or in housekeeping. Whereas I would like to see actually together build something that is, you know, someone's home or part of the community collective resource, where it can be somewhere people come and stay and visit. It brings an income for the community. It's managed traditionally, the traditional way, like just the way things get set up once a Western government's been in there. It's just open for corruption. Like, I think the traditional systems are much more transparent, and that's also... So, anyway, to cut a long story short, I hope the sound worked on that video. That's my future, you know, thing. But for now, with the land in Tabanan, I have 1 area being offered to me. That's like it's an outright purchase. So before you couldn't own land in Indonesia as a Westerner. Now they're changing the law. So you always have to go through locals. You always have to, you know, have little notary legal things in the background. Oh, this is really our land, blah, blah, blah. But now you can actually own land here. So, and I think it's affordable there. I mean, not in actual Denpasar and Seminyak in this area, like the land to buy is more expensive, I think, than, I don't know about Sydney, but definitely more expensive than Cairns. So yeah, that's so basically I'm going to put together some packages for how to start co-investing, how I can also be supported here to keep continuing this work, which is basically going into the bamboo creative business. I mean, like, that's a homestay, so we're creating that as a homestay. So all the finance that goes into that, you know, I mean, really, it only costs me $80 a week to live here in terms of basic food, laundry, fuel. Like, there's, you know, other expenses like the carers, you know, just maintenance on the car. Being able to go and have a glass of wine every now and then is really nice. And yeah, like, be able to buy a bit more food. Like, things have been pretty tight here. But yeah, I mean, a bit of fresh fruit is nice. I'm really looking forward to one of them crazy smoothies at Serenity when I go back after this. Actually, no, I'm on the wrong beach. I have to go to Samadhi. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to put my website link down here. I'm just creating a crowdfunding page, like a personal crowdfunding at the moment, to get me over this, what do you call it, little stumbling block we have at the moment in terms of re-renting my house for the year. I've got to come back to Australia, and I'm going to bring some stuff back that I've been, all these cute little things that I find here. Sandalwood, oh my god, which hopefully, I don't know how it's being sourced, so I'm sorry. But it looks like just, like bits of the bark off the tree or bits of fibre. I'm pretty sure it's a throwaway product because it's made in a local place. It's not factory made, it's local made. So it's like these, like a table runner. They're like a table runner. They do also come in like a placemat size. And I've had them for years actually in Australia. I always put them in my drawers because they keep away moths and insects, and they just make your clothes smell like it's beautiful sandalwood. So, and I've also just found some blinds. So they're nice. It's nice to hang up. They're nice to hang up, and you spray a bit of water on them, and near a window, and the smell that just comes through is just like this beautiful wafting sandalwood smell. So I found a supplier, and I'm going to bring some back with me to Australia. So hopefully I'll be able to sell a few of them, and actually I might also put them on the crowdfunding website, or if people just want to donate, I don't know, like some people they want something in return, other people they just like want to help, and yeah, appreciate anyone. So if you have any requests, you want me to get something or bring something back here specifically, I think I'm going to be coming back end of Feb. I think if I can make it for another, I mean, I want to be here longer. I'm just concerned for the finance side. I don't want to eat into Freya's savings. I've got a couple of listings on Airbnb that also goes into the Bamboo Creative business here. So basically the investments for the timeshare, that's something people can co-invest in, like pay up front straight away. That's going to help me. Actually, no, that's a separate one. That's for the Tabernan project. So I'm going to open up a crowd fund for my house in Seminyak in Denpasar. So I'm basically asking people to help donate, make donations, and as a reward, yeah, I can give you some of these sandalwood, beautiful little mats, like, what else have I found here? A few little things, have a look on the shop page. And also basically in the reward is like accommodation in my house when it's finished, so maybe I'm going to put together some packages for that as well. So maybe a week's package, or a 2 weeks package, or a month's package, and then there'll be just bare bones, just the accommodation. You can sort out your own meals, everything like that. Then there'll be the supported ones, so with someone coming in, doing all housekeeping stuff, preparing food for you, and also supported with in terms of disability as well, although we'll need to chat about that, make sure needs are compatible and all that sort of thing. Because that'll be when I'm already in Tabernan working on the project there, so there'll be time in my house in Denpasar when, I'll definitely like to have visitors stay there. And also I'll do it for my Airbnb house now in Kiravakan. And just ask that people can pay up front so I can pay the rent for this year, and that way I can just like block out times on the Airbnb calendar, and yeah, you can come and stay and have a supported holiday and be part of our bamboo workshop, help build our bamboo house and yeah, so my brain is getting really low on glucose now. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, thank you for listening, and yeah, I hope I can offer up something of value to others, and I hope me and my daughter can stay here in Bali and continue this blessed life we have. Blessed in terms of, yeah, just the social support and how I feel here, and I just like things not having to cost heaps and heaps of money, and people being really cooperative, and yeah, just that my daughter has friends, that yeah, we can meet new people, we have help-ex people come and stay with us here as well, and yeah, check out Bamboo Creative All Abilities Homestay on Airbnb. Alright, thank you everyone, have a beautiful day from Bali. Ciao!